when you do that, you'll find that you foster a growth mindset. One of the challenges with having a growth mindset in an organization is that it's very easy to slip into pass fail. This happens for a variety of reasons, but one of the most common ones is it's basically what's been learned just by doing and moving along, and also the mentality of school. Since there's no testing or final exams or grades, people come up with this pass fail. And if you think about it from a school standpoint, there is a learning curve, right? A person could go from 70 to 100 and get an A, even though they may have started at a 70, they can still have a 4.0. Whereas in business, because we don't have this clarity, we don't have these distinctions all the time, it's easy to go past fail. And when you go past fail, people start hiding the deficiencies. They don't want to learn because they don't want to look stupid. But when you have a development plan that is constantly adapted, and also goes out over 2 years with touch points along the way, you're constantly talking about development, and no one's going to be perfect in everything. So there's always going to be developmental opportunities. There's always going to be some, uh, you know, middle level players. Everybody's not going to be a mastery level in everything. They don't need to be a master at everything. But your trainer is going to have a certain level of expertise. A project leader is going to have a different level of expertise than somebody who's just who's a leadership on the leadership team, but on the operation side. So that it gives you an idea. But in practice, what you'll find is that having a shared language goes a long way. Using shared frameworks goes a long way. And these things become natural. They become part of the fabric. And the reason why I'm staying on this point about the growth mindset is that by continuing to use the same process, people are adapting and you're building on it. And if you go back to last week when I talked about developmental language, you're building habits with your processes. So you're not always training. You're not always dealing with new stuff. It's literally building and building and building. And because it's all coming out of the vision, it's aligned with where you're going long term. So I'll get off the soapbox and let's start taking a look at some examples. And I'll start with the matrix because it's simple and it's one that I found very, very useful.